Love me a country girl, and that's a fact. Okay. Can I tell you my story? Let me tell y'all what I seen down in the country. Well, you couldn't believe what I seen. Well, I never thought that I would see this. Way far back in them woods, I saw something that I liked. Well, I never knew you would. I like them girls in them cowgirl boots. I like them girls in them Daisy Dukes. I like them girls in them cowgirl hats. Down in the country, that's where they at. Okay, listen. Where they at? Where they at? Where they at? Where they at? In the country. In the country. Where they at? Where they at? Where they at? Y'all, I swear I be wanting to do that every time that part come on. Where they at? Where they at? Okay. Listen, that song hits. Okay, I don't care what nobody say. That song hits. Get in here. Get in here. Y'all know I was going live. Well, not everybody knew. Facebook knew I was going live at 9 o'clock. I know I'm a little bit late. Okay. A little fashionably late. But I was at line dance class tonight, and we had karaoke child. And even though I'm just now getting my voice back, I don't know why. I just feel the need to sing. So tonight I did a little karaoke. Y'all, guess what I sung? I sung Beyonce. Who does that? Okay. I sung Halo. And I don't know what I was thinking singing that song when I barely even have a voice right now. Child. The nerve, okay? The nerve of me. Hey y'all, get in here. What's up? It's me, Delores, the pastor's daughter. Child, listen. We gotta talk. Y'all know y'all been wanting to know the tea. Oh, okay. You look, I got the results of my mammogram, y'all. Y'all know I'm about to be 45 now. I'm about to be, ooh, Jesus. And trust me, them hot flashes be hot flash in. Okay. So, this is what they said, y'all. They said, we are pleased to inform you that your mammogram did not show evidence of cancer. Ooh, child, let me get up and shout. Yep. Okay. It's just saying, it's good to go, all that stuff. If you notice any changes in your breast, i.e., changes in your breast size, nipple retraction, skin dimpling, persistent rash, skin thickening, nipple discharge or pain, etc., please call your primary care provider or referring provider. Okay. Listen, that's all I need to hear, child. Oh, until next year, child. Let me tell y'all something. When they listen, if you've never had a mammogram before, child, tell me why they take your whole boob. And listen, they want everything. So they get everything, like all the size, skin, and everything, child. They put that whole thing in that machine, in this squish machine, y'all. And this squish machine literally does like this to your boob. It squishes it down till it can't squish no more. Child, let me take this off so y'all can see me better. Can y'all see me better? Let's see. Let me go like this. All right, y'all. I'm waiting on y'all to get in here so we can talk about this. So, we got videos that we need to review. Okay. Just trying to give y'all a little bit of time. Get on in here. Yeah, I haven't heard any of the YouTubers say this in a long time. Like, come on in the room. Y'all remember they always used to say that? Okay, listen. Okay. Oh, I got another one. We're pleased to inform you that the results of your recent mammogram examination shows no signs of breast cancer. We recommend that your next mammogram be in 1 year. Child, let me put on the calendar. They always tell me anyway, child. They ain't gonna let you forget. They like, hey, it's time to come get them boobies squished. Okay? Go get them boobies squished. You know what? Let me just take a moment, because I know so many of us daughters who have been diagnosed with breast cancer. And let's just take a minute, like just to think about them. lift them up, let them know that, um, child, I'm praying for y'all. I don't know what else to do, but pray. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do what I know to do. Keep y'all lifted up in prayer. I know people personally who have had mastectomies, double mastectomies, have had their chemotherapies and all kind of stuff. And so just sending y'all healing prayers, encouragement, from daughter to daughter. I love y'all, thinking about y'all. Are y'all ready to get started? Let's get started, y'all. I can't wait. I can't wait no longer. Okay. So if you're on YouTube, you can go back and or if you're watching me on Facebook and you want to go to YouTube and start the live video over from the beginning, you can go to YouTube and start it over from the very beginning. There's nothing really to watch, y'all. I was just singing to y'all. I was just messing around. So ain't nothing to watch. So let's go ahead and get started on this. So let me tell you what. Okay, let's do this first. Let's go into what my goal is today. Y'all can hear me good, right? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up in the chat, y'all. Like the video. As y'all know, y'all can always count on your girl. You can always count on your girl to be transparent, but to also be objective, to take responsibility for my actions in, the situation that happened. But to also, be as transparent upfront as possible, like, you know, I grew up, believing that everything needed to just stay like in the house, like you just like you don't tell people what's going on in here, you don't air out your dirty laundry, you show you skeletons in the closet and all the things, and it's all under this guise of like, this is what family is, this is what love is, this is what togetherness is. But really, like, nobody feels together, right? Like, nobody feels together when it's all about just keeping secrets and saving face, right? Just making it look like it's all good when it's really not, let me minimize this for a minute. I ain't mean to minimize myself, child. Hold on. They don't like it, but I'ma keep on stepping. Y'all, what I do? Why I minimize myself, child? That is not. What am I doing? Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm messing up. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Get me together. Get me together, y'all. This is what happened when you don't. Ooh, my background is so messy. Y'all don't pay no attention to none of that. Okay, like none of it. I'm gonna clean it up. I promise. Oh, this is a mess. Why didn't I think about this before I went live? Jesus. Anyway, y'all ignore that. All right. Y'all don't need to be looking at my background. No way. Anyway, so like I said, y'all can always count on me to be transparent, to be honest, be open, like let y'all know the real, and not with the for the sake of saving face, because it really don't save nobody's face. You know what I'm saying? It just holds up a mask for, and no one can ever really like get any further, right? Like no issues can be resolved. There could be no type of like understanding or anything, because everybody just wants to sweep things under the rug. Well, you know what? I'm not a sweeper under the rugger. Okay. So let's just go ahead and let's talk about this. Okay. So y'all know, if y'all watch my lives on Facebook, now I'm live on like nearly all my platforms because I want this to be a teachable moment. So I don't want to just share with my Facebook family. I want to share with my YouTube family as well. So and my Twitch and Twitter X. So I'm on all them channels, y'all. Go find me, okay? So so this is a teachable moment for all of us, because you guys, like, I know you probably saw what happened. If you're, if you follow me on Facebook, then like I only stream our line dance classes on Facebook, right? So about 2 weeks ago now, there was an incident that happened at line dance class. And it happened like at the beginning of line dance class. And what people saw, right? Because I went back and I watched the footage multiple times, and we're gonna watch it tonight too, right? But what people probably saw was there was like a interaction between me and another lady in line dance class. and it wasn't a good one. There was like, there was a clash, so to speak, and and so what people probably saw is that this lady like dropped her stuff and she began to approach me in an aggressive way as if she wanted to fight me. And there was some other young ladies that were in the class as well. They stepped in, they stopped what by all accounts looked like it would have been like a fight, I guess. Um and so That's what people saw. Okay. Then you saw like there was this exchange, there was a discussion about uh me going live and and broadcasting the line dance class live and for the entire duration of the class, right? So that's what you heard, that's probably what you saw, right? Without even like really knowing anything that's going on. I'm just trying to imagine if I was just somebody watching, on the outside, not knowing anything, right? So I'm just trying to give you that bit of a scenario, right? So that's probably what you saw, right? So correct me, you guys, if I'm wrong, like if you like saw something different, like let me know what you saw. But anyway, so just trying to look on to the situation like after the fact, um what I noticed was that yeah, there was this interaction. It was a negative interaction, and then there was like cussing. There was a back and forth, whatever, right? And there appeared to be what was about to be a fight, right? Until some other ladies stepped in and stopped the fight. Then as the video progresses, you see me continuing to dance and line dancing and all that stuff, right? Then you probably see me leave the line dance class for a span of time, which uh, by my count, I think was right around like 25 minutes. I was gone from the class. And then I come back into the class and I just continue dancing. The live continues, everything continues like as if nothing happened, right? Then, I cut the live just like normal and, we all go home, right? I say goodbye to you guys. Love y'all. Bye bye for now and all the good stuff, right? So that's probably what you saw, right? Like from outside looking in. But of course, there's more to the story than, what you saw on the video. So today I want to give y'all I want to take y'all back and just kind of like tell you the story of how we got here, right? Like how do we get to this place where we are in line dance class and there seems to be a fight that's about to take place, right? Like how do we get here, right? Okay, so this is the video that we're gonna watch, but let me just take y'all back, okay? Because this is what you saw was actually the second encounter, okay? So let's go back. All right. So the lady in question, we'll just call her Miss J. Okay. So Miss J left for a while. And like I came into line dance class, y'all. I told y'all earlier in the video, I was real sick. I have fibromyalgia, I have lupus. The fibromyalgia is what really gives me problems. But really since I really started, really getting into line dance class, it's like like I feel like the fibromyalgia is like at a place where I'm really like managing it, right? Now, mind you, like this was all kind of like around the time when I left the church and left the whole thing that, my father's situation, right? So slowly as I left that toxic environment and all the stuff that was going on at the church and between my father and um you know I started just trying to like take more control over my health. I started realizing like that my like the health issues that I was dealing with was really tied to my connection with my father too. Like maybe he didn't make me sick, right? But like being around him in a toxic environment and all of that stuff that was going on was not helping me at all. Like it was making it worse. So, like I felt like it was like a life and death situation that I needed to get away from all that toxicity, right? So like I left the church and probably about like a year and a half later, I started getting into line dances. Now y'all like probably about 3 or 4, I don't even know how many years before that. I used to see Miss J and Miss Ann, like the teacher who teaches line dance, and it's like some of the older ladies or whatever. I used to see them at this club that me and my husband met at, right? So, I used to see them at the club and they would be line dancing. I just was like, "Oh my god, I just wanna do that so bad." And so I started asking, I was like, "Do y'all have line dance class and stuff like that? Do y'all meet up and, like, everybody just learns? Cause like, how does everybody know all the dances, right?" So, like, I was just kinda like, I just wanna do it, and I wanted to be part of it, and, like, I'm not from here, so like when I met my husband is when I really like felt like I started to like have roots here, like in where I live, like in this county, like Calhoun County in Alabama, right? So I started feeling like I started getting roots here. And then like with the stuff that was happening with my family, I just felt like, I'm gonna have to like create the family that I want, because the family that I was given ain't working right for me, like so like I started getting involved more in like stuff that was going on, and like one of my husband's classmates is in the chat and like they just took me in, y'all, like class of 91, Aniston, class of 91, y'all, like they are the real MVPs because like they really just embraced me, y'all. Like and so like I started to like get more involved with stuff that was going on in my local community. And I was never able to really do that before because we moved around so much. Like I went to 5 different high schools. And if y'all know me well, like I finally graduated in Heflin, Cleburne County. But like I was only there long enough to graduate. So like if you ask me if I know like a whole bunch of people, I probably don't know them. Like I knew a group of people, but like I wasn't really there that long. So but that's what my whole life was like. So actually like finding somewhere where I can like get roots, was like I just wanted that so bad. So like that's what Aniston was. And because my husband was from here, it's like I just like used him and used his name to just be like, I'm family too. Y'all gotta adopt me, because I'm his wife, you know, and everybody did, it just seemed like everybody just really embraced me. So, I used to see the ladies at the club, where I met my husband, and I just wanted to be involved. But it was still like several years before I ever did. And I really feel like if I never left the church, I would have never even got involved in line dancing because like my father was such a like controller that if he saw us doing anything like in the community, he would like call for more services. He would make us have more services or like make us like meet up at the church for something, a rehearsal or this or that, It was like he always just tries to isolate us, but he tried to do it in such a slick way that we didn't like really realize that we aren't even involved in our community because we're just so involved in this church. And it's like our ministry really didn't even go past the 4 walls for real. It was like people were just expected to come into our space and that's how we ministered to them. But I didn't believe in that. I believed in like getting out and like meeting people and getting to know people and networking and doing all the things, right? So that's what you see me do now, right? So in line dance, I probably like went for a year before I ever started going live in there. And because it was doing such great things for me, I started picking up the line dances really good. And then like Shannon and Ann, like they started asking me to do other things, like to dance with them in other places and stuff like that. And it was like amazing, right? Like this is my new little family, this is an extension of this family in this county that I've created. And so I started really like getting good at it. And so, because it did such great things for me, like, why not tell everybody about it? Like, let's grow this thing. Let's get more ladies, involved in line dance too. And then, I because I have this affinity for daughters, in my own personal ministry and purpose, I felt like line dance was like a really great way to meet other women and connect with other women, and like and just kind of have that camaraderie like it's not a sorority, it's just like women who just like to dance, like just something simple, and everybody can do it. Like you see old ladies in there, you see kids in there, you see white women in there, you see black men in there, like you see like anybody can line dance, right? So it just was like such a great way to like bring this togetherness, right? So now I'm in line dance for like a year or so, and now I'm like, okay, I want to spread the word, right? So I'm already like kind of building my platform. I got my book out and I got all this other stuff. And I'm like, I may as well use like this platform to kind of like let people know about line dance class so we can all like do this together. And even for people who aren't here, then yeah, like they can do it too, like they could do it wherever they are. And it's almost like we're together, even though we're not together. So, okay, so I'm like, I started doing like a little bit, right? Like I started really like minor. Okay, if y'all go back in the history, I started like doing like just a couple dances, like showing y'all like a couple dances or whatever. And then I would record like a couple the steps to the dances, and just post that. And then like I don't know, one time I just like I went live and I was like, y'all come to class. And I wasn't gonna stay on live the whole time, but then, like, we was just having fun, and, like, more people were getting on the live, and it's like they just enjoyed it, and, like, everybody was just enjoying it, right? So I'm just like, "I'm just gonna stay on here," like, and so it just evolved into, like, now all of a sudden, like, I'm streaming the entire class, and I'm like, "Y'all come to class, and if y'all can't come to class, then dance with us wherever you are," like, it just turned into, like, something fun. Now, I have to tell y'all, now, y'all know the way I grew up. I done told y'all how I grew up, right? My father told us that it was somebody trying to kill us our entire lives, like our whole childhood, right? So I'm a paranoid person anyway, right? Like, but I have like really calmed a lot of this down. Like I've gotten a lot of therapy and all of that, right? But so I'm a real paranoid person anyway. And if y'all ever just really watch the videos, you notice like like my head is always on a swivel, there. And like I'm always just kind of like watching for things, and stuff like that. Like, it just like it's kind of something that like is a trauma response, but it also was like taught I was taught this. And then I joined the military, which made it even more so. So I started to feel like, um, is this safe? Is this safe for us to like, go live like this? People, because people can have like bad intentions. And then I had this guy um start like commenting on our line dance videos. Like he was like stalking me. And he started like writing stuff on my page. He was like tagging me and stuff. Like we had met and like I had broke his heart or something, y'all. It was like crazy. So like at that point I was like I was like even more like paranoid about it. Like I'm like, okay, I don't know about this. But then the ladies were like, I'm watching, and like everyone was kind of like, it was like also like this really good thing and this real pure thing with it too, even though it had this element that came with it of, yes, people are going to always know, like, going to know where you are. They're going to know what you're doing, like how many people are there, like this is the kind of stuff that I think about because like this is how, first of all, I was trained. This is like my trauma response because of how I grew up. So I think about like, okay, like we got these women in here, like this dude and already, done posted me and like we go together or something, like he's stalking me and like it's getting crazy. So I was like, okay, but it's mostly good, right? It's mostly good coming from this, right? Like mostly good. People are watching, people are getting involved, more people are coming to class. This is good. This is mostly good, you know? And I'm just gonna watch out for, all the other bad elements that, are possible with this, and try to mitigate any risk that are there, right? So this is my thinking, right? So then uh Miss J, like during this time, she's gone. Like she's gone for a whole year, right? Then she comes back. So she comes back and starts back going to line dance class. Now, mind you, Miss J is an old school, like she's been doing it. She's been. Like I told you, she was one of the ones that I originally saw doing it, where I was like, I want to do line dance. She made me want to do it. So she's an OG about this, and she's not like really having it. Like it's like, okay, yeah, like, yeah, you going live and whatever, you know what I'm saying? But this ain't how we really roll. You know what I'm saying? This is what she like, this is what she on. She like, this ain't really how we roll. So I ain't really, but for a while there was no problem, right? So probably for like another year, seems like. No? Like, Yeah, for another like 6 months at least, right? Another 6 months. There's no problems at all. There's no issues, nothing being said or anything, right? Now I'm mindful still because, like I know that, not everybody wants to be on camera, you know, and, like there's a lot of like line dance classes out there and they stream the whole class and stuff like that. But, that's not my thing. I'm not going to like, I'm not going to put anybody out there that doesn't want to be out there. So during class, I always tell people, hey, like I got the camera right here. It's always stationary. So it's like it's right here. It's really on me, right? But it's also on a few people, like on the instructor, and it's on a few people who don't mind or like being on video, right? Um, so I was always mindful of that. Now one day we were in class and like there had been like little things, how like y'all know how like people would say little things or they say it in like a certain way and you pick up on it but you just dismiss it because it's like, okay, well, that person's a little quirky, they're a little, they're how they are, you know what I mean, like that's just how they are. So I dismissed, some of the little little things that I would hear here and there, um a- and there was one time that I hugged her. Like we're always friendly. I mean, we got tons of pictures together and everything. So we were always, it was always love between us. But one time I hugged her and she didn't hug me back. And then I was like, you ain't gonna hug me back. And if y'all know me, I kind of like I'm real like, playful, and like, I don't really take too much serious, like maybe she just wasn't in the mood, maybe, whatever, you know. So I didn't really think too much of it. I really just kind of dismissed it. But like it was a thing, right? It was a thing of note. I noted it, I remembered it, it was there, right? But it was like, okay, it's whatever. It's forgotten, it's forgiven, whatever. Not forgotten, but forgiven for sure. So so then one day I'm in class and I'm filming, and the only time I always use my tablet, y'all. Y'all be seeing it. But anyway, so one time I was filming and I was filming the instructor Ann, right? And somebody was saying something to me or something like that. I was speaking to every people or whatever. And so I have my like, let's say this is my tablet here. Y'all look, I'm on one look. I done broke my tripod, y'all. Ain't that let me just take it off of here. I ain't gonna do it. Anyway, so let's just say this is my tablet, right? So I'm like filming, right? I'm filming and like in front of me. And let's say I turn around and I'm speaking to people. I'm like, hey girl, you know how I do. Hey girl. And but I got the camera here and I'm not focused on what I'm doing in camera. Now Anne moves out of the camera shot to go and like turn on the music or turn off the music because she's teaching a dance, right? She's teaching a dance, which is the only time I ever move the camera because I want people to be able to go back and look at the movement so that you can learn it, on your own. And the only way that you can get the accurate steps is if I turn the camera around and show you like how it really is. Because usually I have the camera facing me where I can see myself because the camera goes out all the time whenever there's a copyright strike on Facebook, right? So I always have to like make sure I can see it. So and then I see y'all's comments, right? So I always have it facing me. So but this time I turned it around so y'all could see the steps and y'all could see them accurately, right? So I got it like this, and I'm like, hey girl, yeah, I know how I do, right? And Ann moves out of the camera shot, and Miss J is in the camera shot because she is also helping teach this dance. Now this is a new thing that she started doing. Well, I guess maybe she probably did it before, whatever. But so she's also helping teach the dance too, right? So so the camera now is on her spin dance, right? So she's like, this ain't funny, y'all. But I don't know why I'm laughing. So she spins, right? And as she spins, like right in front, like this is her. And she like spins right in front of the camera and she get mad at me. And I was like, oh my God. I said, I'm so sorry. I was like, I wasn't even paying attention. I was like, you just spun right into it, and I was explaining to her what happened. I mean, even though, I mean, like an explanation, I should just say, I apologize, whatever, right? But I was trying to explain what happened. So anyway, so she is mad. And then she says, well, people don't want you going live. And I was like, And I was like, I'm sorry. I was like, I was explaining to her that, I didn't mean for the camera to be in her face, that I just wasn't paying attention to it. I was like, and then she was saying that she was like, well, we're representing Aniston. And then I was just like, what? I mean, are you implying that this is not a good representation of Aniston? I didn't say that, but that's what I'm thinking, right? Like in my mind, I just want to really de-escalate the issue because I really thought that I had mitigated this, right? Like, how I be talking, you know what I'm saying? I thought I mitigated this, right? Because I knew that some people didn't want to be on camera, right? So I was like, so I explained to her, I was like, yeah, I just lifted up because she was teaching a dance. So I was like, but it's just gonna stay right here. So I was like, if anybody don't want to be a camera, they could just be behind it, right? So y'all never really see how many people are or who's in class for real, because there's a lot of people behind the camera shot, right? So, okay. Um, that was like the first incident. And I knew that there were some concerns. She said that there were some people who had disability cases and they didn't want to be seen dancing on video. So I was like, I know, right? Because I already knew because I'd already talked to these people. So I was like, the camera's right here, just be behind it, right? And that particular day, that particular person wasn't even in class. So I felt like in that moment, like I felt like it was petty. I'm just like, why are you making an issue like out of a non-issue? And I was very dismissive. And so that's where like I really feel like I need to take like full accountability, right? Because I was dismissive of her concerns. Now, in my mind, I felt like I had already mitigated it. All the stuff that she was addressing, I had already addressed, right? Like, so I already knew, like, this is where it is, certain people don't want to be filmed. That's fine. I respect anybody for whatever reason, I don't care. So, I mean, I don't care the reason. So, so I thought I had mitigated it. So I was very dismissive of her. I was like, whatever. So I started, that live ended up getting cut off for some reason. So I started the live back up and just like continue on as usual, right? Totally like putting everything that she said in the back of my mind, noting, right, that at the time that she addressed the issue with me at that time, she was very like uh nasty, right? Like it was nasty. And like I also feel like that's why I need to take accountability because of her approach. I wasn't trying to hear her anyway. You know what I mean? So like if there was a conversation that needed to be had, I wasn't going to have it because I already felt like the tone was disrespectful. The way you going about it is disrespectful. Like, is it really that like, is it really that serious? You know what I mean? That's kind of how I was. Now, when you start dismissing people, like, and you dismiss their concerns, you dismiss them, maybe because of the way they approached you, maybe I didn't take into account what she was really saying. Instead, I was more concerned about how she did it, and I ain't like that. And so I wasn't very open or, responsive to her at that point. Then there were more things that started to happen as time progressed, right? I still continued to do what I was doing, didn't, I didn't really hear her say anything else about it really for some weeks or maybe months. I don't really know like how much time has gone by. But but then there was like a couple of like little other little like little digs, right? I was just like, dang, like what's going on? Like I don't really know what I did. Y'all ever be having those moments you just be like, what did I do? You know what I mean? Like, if you tell me what I did, okay, first of all, like, let me make it right. And like, did I really do something? Or like, where is this energy coming from? So I really couldn't understand like the energy, but still, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't really gonna let it like ruin nothing for me. Like, I'm just gonna still do what I do. Like, I'm just doing me, right? So then we go out of town. Y'all, we go on a field trip. Oh Lord. God, we go on a field trip, and you know the kids love to act up when you go on a field trip. My God, you know how you got to go to the store and you be like, "Don't touch nothing, don't ask for nothing, don't ask to spend the night, don't act up, don't." You know what I'm saying? You know how you got to get your kids to talk. Now, before we got to that event, me, Daphne, and Shantae was in the car, and we was like, "Okay, now we on a look, we on a field trip, okay." We need all the kids to act right now, okay? But all the kids didn't act right. Yeah, all the kids didn't act right. So again, okay, now I was feeling energy, right? I was feeling the energy from her. Now I sat on the way on the other side of the table, right? It was a long table, about 8 seats between us or something, right? I sat on way on the other side, right? But I was still feeling this energy, and I would get like little glances, and I just be like, "Dang." You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this? Where is this energy coming from? I don't know, right? Then, okay, look, let's all take a group picture, because we all out of town. We on a field trip, let's all take a group picture. So we all get together to take a group picture. And there's this chair in the way. Now, this is where I gotta take responsibility because I think I miscalculated. I don't know. I saw her going for the chair, right? She had a tablet in her hand. I think she was trying to prop her tablet up on the chair, maybe. This is what I'm thinking. I moved the chair, right? But I could have sworn like that she like was going for the chair, but she like did stop going for the chair. So I moved the chair because the chair's in the way. So I moved the chair. And then I'm thinking at the same time, like she gets mad at me right then and there. Like right then and there, it's like she on fire. Y'all, I could have cussed her out at the time. That's what you would have thought. She got so mad at me moving that chair, y'all. I moved that chair, and then I called her name. I was like, Miss J, you know, you want to put your tablet? She was like, don't say my name. Like, wait. What happened? Don't say my name. Like she got mad, y'all. Like mad. And I still like was like, dang, okay, like, okay, yeah, I messed up. Okay. Yeah, I miscalculated. I moved a chair. She was going for the chair. I thought she stopped going for the chair, so I moved the chair, was in the way. Then, I realized that her body language was a ways when I moved the chair. So I was like, oh, so I was like calling her name about the, like here, you put your thing down on the chair. Really, just really innocently. But like, I guess if I was to look at it from her eyes, right? Like, which is what you should do. You should always look at it from someone else's perspective. Then if she already is like upset with me for whatever reason or for all the reasons, right? Then me moving that chair is like, okay, like this is like, okay, you doing too much. Okay. And she's probably this is what she's probably thinking, right? So I'm like, okay, then like I'm not really like backing down, you know what I mean? Like, but I'm not aggressing or anything like that. I'm just like holding my own. Like, okay, like, like chill, like I'm not just letting her talk to me any kind of way. And she was talking to me any kind of way. Okay. She was. It was ugly. It was very ugly. And so I just stood my ground in that moment, right? Because I'm like, y'all, like to me it's like, okay, I'm seeing this and I see like there's men there, but like there's mostly women, right? Like it's just all these women around, and I'm just like, she really just gonna like just do me, like just gonna talk to me any kind of way, like loudly in front of all these women? Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So I felt like in that moment, like, look, like now like look now, I don't know what you was thinking about me. I don't know the impression that you have, but like this is not what's gonna happen. So I'm like, I'm just holding my own, right? Not aggressing in any way. But then she tries to fight me. Like she's coming at me aggressively, and someone jumps in just like what you guys saw on the video. So, okay, I'm not understanding y'all, like for real. But I'm gonna take responsibility for what I did. Okay. I moved the chair, I dismissed her, those times where she addressed some issues with me about the video and all of that stuff. Like I was very dismissive, and maybe from her perspective, I am like, I'm all wrong. So like, okay, the next Monday, I want to like just give it a minute, like so I don't go to class. Like I'm just like let me just give things time, cool down. I don't really know where the energy's coming from. I don't really like I'm really shocked, y'all, because you know I don't really have very many people who try to fight me, you know. And for someone to like, really like come at me like they want to fight me and they're looking at me like they want to harm me is like that's on a whole other level for me. Like that takes me somewhere, and like that's like it hurts me like seriously, because like I really like pride myself on like respecting people and and honoring people. I mean, even though I admit that I was dismissive of her concerns and I did move the chair, I still would have been like, I would have apologized had the energy not been so aggressive and so angry and so like dangerous. It was like it was bad, right? So now we fast forward to this day when I come to class. Now, this is my first time back to class after the out of town incident. So now, you guys, we are finally at this point where we can review the video. The video that you all probably saw. Um, I don't like this, y'all. Hold on. Let me just show y'all the actual video because I want y'all to be able to see this really good. So let me stop this screen share and I'm gonna share excuse me. I'm gonna share the actual video. Hold on. So that y'all can well, it's a let me see. It's like it's you know how Facebook makes you record, like it makes you record long ways. Is that the right way to say long ways? Um so let me share this one now. Share screen. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. So this is now where now we're here. Now we're here. This is my first day back to class after the out of town incident. Okay. All right. So I don't really know. Like, I don't really know what to expect when I get in there. I'm a little bit late. So I come in there like I don't know, maybe they've listened to two songs already or danced to two songs already. So I come in the middle or near the end of this song. And so I just set my stuff up and like normal and just, go ahead and just start dancing with everybody like normal, right? So I'm going to I gotta mute this because I don't want copyright strikes for the music. So and I'm gonna walk y'all through this. I'm gonna walk you through it and explain what's happening. And let me switch these around so y'all can see better. Here's the thing though, y'all. Like I just don't want y'all to stop going. You know? It's like I feel like I really I worked hard to, to build it, and I really I really feel like it's really good and I just don't want y'all to stop. And that's that's my dilemma right now. But I know it's important for me to be transparent about um what happened because I can't just leave y'all to just, not know what happened and kind of like where I stand in this whole thing. What okay, why can't I switch these? Can y'all see this good? Can y'all see it good? Okay. Okay, so this is where Miss J first mentions the live. You can see her pointing at it right there. You can see her pointing at it. And let me just go ahead and put this as a disclaimer. Y'all, like I'm talking about this and I'm being very transparent about this, but y'all, please do not like think that I want any type of retaliation or anything. Y'all know that is not what I'm about. Okay? Like it's important for us to talk about this because like this type of stuff is important to discuss. Um, but y'all, like don't make this any more, toxic than what it has already become. Like, I just want to remove the toxicity from it, which in my mind is to remove myself from this situation. But we're going to talk about that after this. So she's pointing at the live now. And I think I can go ahead and play this volume because there's no songs playing right here, I don't think. Hold on. So I see her making note of it, and then then she comes back, and now she approaches me about the live. And she said that people don't want me going live, and this is what I say. Can y'all hear it? Y'all let me know. Can y'all hear it? Let me make sure. Excuse me. Can y'all hear it? Can you hear it? About the live. To 2 songs already, or dance to 2 songs already. Everybody like. I want to make sure y'all can hear this video. Okay. All right, y'all still give me a thumbs up in the thumbs up the video. Okay. Okay, so I look at the camera. I don't know why I look back at the camera like that. Why I look at y'all? Why I did that? I think in my mind I was thinking, God, how am I gonna handle this? I don't know. Hold on. Oh, okay. Well, look, obviously I didn't handle it the way she wanted me to handle it, y'all. Cause y'all see, hold on. Let's go back. Look what I did. Y'all see that? Do y'all see this? Yeah, I'm not making this no better. I ain't making this situation no better. Okay, I'm like, this is what I said. I say you need to go about your business. I said, you need to go about your business. Okay? Period. And now she gonna tell on me. Can y'all hear me good? I think in my mind I was thinking, y'all, this what got me in trouble. Always laughing about stuff. She went over and told on me, y'all. She said, I told her about that live, and she told me to go about my business. And did. Okay. Y'all, I'm not making this situation no better. Okay? Because what I do? Look what I did. Girl, you got some nerve. Girl, she told me to go about my business. And I did. Okay? Because why are you messing with me? And see, that's what I was thinking in my mind, y'all. See, I don't know if I had the right spirit. Okay? Because at that time, I'm just like, why are you messing with me? Like that, but again, like, that's what y'all can let me know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, check my demeanor. Like, do I have the right attitude? Do I have the right spirit about this whole situation? You know? I told her to go about her business, y'all, because I wasn't feeling it. I'm like, leave me alone. So now I know Ann man. Ann said, well, who want to be on the video? Who want to be on the video? And right, and like, y'all, I know that there are some people who like it, right? And I know that there are some people who don't. And I really thought that I was respecting those people, even though, like I said in the beginning of the video, I had my own issues, my own reservations about going live and continuing to do it. Like, have we done enough, where it's like, okay, everybody knows we're here, we do this, like, come join us, you're welcome to come, and all that stuff. And then, okay, like, we can just let this go. I don't, but I don't even feel like, after the approach, what I'm saying, after the interaction, that I was even open to, like having that discussion, really. So again, this is where I take accountability, because, like, do I have the right attitude about this? Right? Okay, let's continue. Now, see, this is where, now look at my look at my body, look at my body language. Okay, I got my hand on my hip. Y'all see it? Okay, got the fan weighing, the hand on my hip, and you see my stance, right? And you can see, like, I clearly have an attitude. Like, I do. I have an attitude, because I'm just like, okay, now you're trying to solicit people to have a problem. You know what I mean? Even though we've already addressed this, people know it's here. People know to get behind, all the things. Like, now I feel like you're creating a problem, and now you're trying to get people to co-sign with you, even though it's really not an issue, right? But then, and again, is that me being dismissive? Possibly. Let's continue. But I clearly don't have the right posture here. Now she tell people to not be scared. And it's just like, what would they have to be scared for? Just say, like, you don't want to be on a video. That's fine. I respect you. Like, you're not gonna get any pushback from me, you know? Okay. Then then I don't know if you guys heard it. She said she's gonna be live the whole time, and then someone says, "Oh no," you know. Then it's like, now you're creating this, like, picture of what it's gonna be like, even though it's gonna be on me the whole time. Now, granted, we did do, like, this circle dance where people were in the video shot, and again, that's a place where, okay, is that an area of concern? Because now, people are on the move, so, like, is that an area where we could talk about this? You know what I mean? But again, I wasn't even in no space where I want to talk about it anymore, because it's like, you keep coming at me wrong. You know what I mean? So then, at least the question, right? In a discernment, thinking about this from a discernment perspective, you know, you got to think back on your own actions and how you handled the situation. Were you even receptive to, hearing what this lady had to say? And I would have to say, no, I wasn't. I didn't like the way she came at me. I was like, she already done tried to fight me one time. And I'm not trying to hear nothing she say. Like, to me, it's like, don't say anything to me, because you don't like me. You see me, and you want to, do harm to me, obviously, because you want to fight me, right? So, like, to me, it's like, there's nothing to talk about. Like, just go on about your business, leave me alone. It was like, that's the energy I was giving. But again, that may have contributed to the escalation of this situation. And then in my mind, I'm just like, why is this? Why is it so serious? Then obviously you see that she goes out, because it's she's not getting the response that she wants to get, and so she wants to take it further and further and further. And so that is what you see happening on the video. It ends up going further and further and further. Before it could do that, uh, there's a second attempt to fight me. Okay, now you see I'm popping my fan, and you see, like, if you look close, child, if you look close, I'm biting my lip. Okay, right there. That's a lip bite. That's a like, I'm trying to hold my peace type of thing. So I'm popping my fan, and I'm just, to me, it's just like, it's letting out aggression at that time. I'm feeling aggression myself, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna pop it out, pop it out, pop it out, pop it out, right? So I'm just popping, you know. But I can feel this, like, y'all, like, I have become, like, so in tune with myself. Like, I know when I'm about to, like, when like I'm about to match energy with you. You know what I mean? Like I can feel it. I can feel it welling up in my tummy. Like I can feel it. And it's like butterflies. And it's like it starts to well up inside me. And that's why I know, okay, like this is like I'm about to act off of emotion. And so I need to put myself in check because I know what this feeling is. This is a pivotal moment, where um I can react in a way that is not good, or I can react in a way that's good, and I could feel it start to well up in me, right? So I'm popping my fan, I'm biting my lip, and I'm just trying, like, God, just work with me, Jesus. So I'm popping, okay? Let me go back a little bit because y'all got to see. Now, now I'm talking junk. I am talking y'all. I told you I'm gonna be honest about my own part. I am talking junk, right? Now, now I don't need to be getting all cocky and extra with it, right? I was just like, well, why we got all these people in the class then, right? Like and that's not the right attitude to have. Like, I do know that I was instrumental in getting people more, like, increasing this class size. Like, I know that I was instrumental in that, but I don't need to get to no point where it's just like where everything I do is infallible because I've helped this class grow. That's just not the right attitude. But that's the attitude I was like, that's what was happening in this moment. See, look at my body language, y'all. Mm, mm, mm. This is where it gets bad. That is not a proud moment for me, you guys. It's not a proud moment. This is what I was doing. It's not funny, but it's funny. I was like, bye. I said, bye, 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 bye. Y'all, wrong. Just wrong as two left shoes. Wrong. Just wrong, wrong, wrong. I mean, like, I'm like, that's taunting. Like, really, it was. I taunted her in that moment. I was like, bye. Y'all know, y'all know that show that, what was it, like Medea or somewhere, where the girl was like, Byron, Byron. Like, y'all, I was so annoying. Like, I was so annoying. I was like, bye. And just pop, 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 pop. Like, I was taunting her. Look, see, I said bye. Bye, bye. Then, y'all, I taunted her again. Again, y'all. I don't know if y'all heard that. I said, you acting up on live. Oh my God. Y'all. I was not innocent in this, okay? Like, I was definitely like, I was giving a little spice. You know what I mean? Like, I was giving a little spice back, you know. Like, I was just like, leave, like, you're the only one with a problem. Like, just go. I was like, bye, bye, bye. Y'all, just annoying, just just taunting her. Look, I taunted her. Like, she pissed me off. It's like she pissed me off, and then it was like I felt that. Ooh, I felt that welling up in my spirit. I said, Lord, help me, Jesus. Because I was about to match energy. And like, yeah, yeah. like, I'm not innocent in this situation. You know what I mean? Like, this is the thing. We have seen, okay, in a lot of recent headlines, right, where there are things that you can do to de-escalate situations, right, so that they don't get to this. And were there things that I could have done to prevent it from getting to this? Yeah. Yeah, I could have. I could have. I could have really just stopped the video. I really could have. Right? But it's like at that point, like I'm just like, nah. You ain't gonna talk to me any kind of way. You ain't gonna handle me. You ain't gonna tell me what to do. You ain't gonna bully me. You ain't gonna this, that, and the third. And so then, like, how is this situation? How are we gonna remedy this? How are we gonna de-escalate this situation if I am also like giving a little bit of spice back? So you see what I'm saying, right? You see how, I mean, and truthfully, I could get on here and just be like, oh, she just, uh, you know, she just, she wants to fight me, and yeah, that is a fact of the matter, right? And I can admit, right? And I can admit my wrong and also highlight the fact that even though what you saw is what you saw, and I told you the story from before, I cannot imagine, even in all of that, what I have done to make someone look at me and want to harm me. That's the part that just blows me away, right? Now I can say, like, I'll go back and like, okay, yeah, like, she has concerns about me going live in this class. I need to, you know, listen to her concerns, honor her concerns, mitigate whatever her concerns are so that we can still promote this class, but still be in a safe environment where everybody feels like they can let loose, they can have fun, they can, just be girls, or just dance, or whatever the case may be, right? But I didn't do that. Okay. I didn't do that. I didn't de-escalate this situation. And if we don't acknowledge these types of things, then we will continue, right, to have kids, right, who don't de-escalate situations either. Now, there's really no need for us to continue watching this video. You've seen enough, right? Like, you've seen enough, and you know where I'm going with this. This situation has escalated to a point where I don't feel safe, right? Now, she had concerns about safety, and I think that I ignored them, right? Which is what I was dismissive of her concerns because she didn't approach me right, because she didn't say it right, because I don't know what her motives are, or whatever the case may be, right? But now I've allowed this situation, right? So taking accountability, taking responsibility, I've allowed this situation to get to a point now where I don't feel safe returning. And in the spirit of transparency, because you guys know that I will always be transparent, this situation escalated to a point where another person came to the center. And even though I did not see this for myself, I was informed that that person had a knife. And because of what the situation was, I assume, right? And I think I rightly assume that had that situation went any further that night, that it may have been worse. I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know right, is that because I allowed this situation to get to where it is, right? By initially ignoring her concerns, then we've gotten to this point now where it's a major concern for me, you know? And I think that the best thing to do, the mature thing to do, is to continue to promote this class because it is a wonderful class. And I believe that the only reason that it got to the point where it got to is because I know how to de-escalate situations, but I just didn't do it. I didn't do it. She can take responsibility for whatever she wants to, or none of it. I don't care, right? But when it comes down to being a discerning person, being a discerning daughter, then you have to realize that sometimes, because of your decisions, then you have to make decisions that you don't want to make later on. I think that's what we see in a lot of situations where we need to be a little more diplomatic. We need to be a little more, how can we work this out to where it doesn't escalate to violence? And if we don't, as adults, acknowledge our own mess ups, just like I did, then all of these kids, all of the kids that were there that night will see how this ended up. How will they learn through seeing what we have done, what we've experienced, right? What the incidents or the events that we've gotten ourselves into? How can we expect them to learn from that? Or what do we expect for them to learn from that? Because they're going to learn something. Either they're going to learn the right thing or the wrong thing. And I happen to know that the girls that were there, the young girls that were there, that was their first night there, and I am so embarrassed. And I am so heartbroken that they saw it. But I also have to acknowledge that this could be a blessing, right? Because they see me on live, right? Which is why they wanted to come to class. But now they can see me acknowledge my wrongs, right? Acknowledge my part in this situation and acknowledge that sometimes you just have to remove yourself. Sometimes you just have to walk away. And it's not a loss. It's not like, oh, she won. Or, oh, don't let her have the last. Don't let her have her way. No. Because like if I acknowledge my wrong in this situation, then I really could have fixed this before it ever got here. And because I allowed it to go there, then now I have to remove myself. That is what I have to do, right? Like it's my consequence. I don't want anything else happening. I don't want anything happening to her. I don't want anything happening to the other person who came with a knife. I don't want anything to happen to anybody else there. I want everybody to still go and still enjoy and we just know that at least for my part of this, I'm taking responsibility, I'm taking accountability and acknowledging that my consequence now, because I allowed it to get this far, is that I have to remove myself. But I still want y'all to go. I still want y'all to enjoy because I just know how good it was for me. I just know how good it was for me. And I just know like the benefits of it, And it's not like it's like I can't dance no more. You know what I mean? Like it's not like that. But it's just like this is my consequence. I don't want to say it's a punishment, but it's my consequence for not handling this differently. sooner, earlier, better, you know? There's a lot I could have done differently. And I'm not proud of this, y'all. Like, I'm not proud of this at all. I'm hurt. I've shed tears over this. Like, I am bothered, I'm bothered by this, But my goal is that, this community of daughters that I'm building is strong, and how can it be strong? How can I talk to y'all about discernment and don't even use discernment of my own actions? This is discernment in real time. This is me taking accountability for my wrongs in this. Hey y'all. Hey. There ain't no stress no more, Tara. We good, girl. We good. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't either. And you guys, like y'all got to think, like, a lot of people saw this video, and a lot of people have different types of, like, ways that they feel like I should have reacted. Some people feel like I should have matched energies, and I should have fought her, and all this, like, nah. Like, come on, y'all. Like, no. I can't even I really can't even, like, first of all, I can't even fathom fighting nobody. Okay, first of all, at this big old age, like, I didn't even fight people when I was a kid. That's not my ministry, you know? And I believe that every situation can be, like, de-escalated, you know? I mean, just think about the headlines of what we seeing today. And we're like, I mean, we're just so happy to push people to fight. Well, just fight it out, like they used to do in the day. We never used to get gun. We used to just fight it out. Like, no, like, these kids are stomping each other's heads. Like, people are literally dying from fighting too. Like, y'all got to stop this. Seriously. And if this is happening to women at our big old age, you know, I'm nearly 45 and I think she's nearly 70. We should both be ashamed. I'm ashamed. Like, literally, I'm ashamed, y'all. Like, so ashamed that I need to come on here and show y'all, like, this is not it. This is not it. And I messed up in this situation. Like, I messed up big, It should have just never went there. And I could have totally done something else, anything else to de-escalate, but definitely not taunting her and telling her to leave and talking loud and, like, there was a lot of things I could have did differently, y'all. What'd you say? What'd you say, Tara? You said that when I was talking about your illness and the church. Oh, when I was talking about it? That's what it is, y'all. Teach your kids to de-escalate situations. When I think back, it didn't just start here at this line dance class that y'all saw. There were a lot of things I could have done previous to this. And I just didn't. And so this is a lesson for me. Like, don't let it get this far. Of course, I never would have thought it would get this far, like, and maybe that's another thing, I just didn't even think, like, it would go there. Like, oh, I could have possibly think that. But that's how we have to think now. Like, that's how we have to think, always in with a sense of, like, you know, even if you have to remove yourself, even if you have to dismiss yourself, walking away is not punking out, you know? Like, leaving a toxic situation is not you, like, letting them have the upper hand, or, like, letting them win. Like, nah. And if you lose the battle to win the war, as they say, then, like, let that be it. Like, just, I'm a bow out right now, you know but that, for some, like, maybe later on, you know maybe this could be resolved in some way. I don't see myself ever returning, y'all. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the knife situation bothered me beyond measure, right? And it bothered me because I feel like more people knew that there was a knife there, that, that I could possibly be like in real danger. And I don't feel like enough people told me about it. The people who knew didn't tell me. And I'm hurt. I'm hurt by that. And um I just like trust is a real big thing for me. I just I don't have very many people, like I don't have very many family. You see the stuff, like you guys have seen publicly what has been happening in my family. I don't have very many people here that I just feel you know, like have my back. Like when you move to a small town, you're not from a small town, it's like everybody's related, everybody's connected some type of way, and you're not. And that was always clear to me wherever I went. But especially in the South, in small towns in the South, that you're not from there. And like I learned early on, like I think my parents taught me, it's like, don't ever talk about anybody because everybody's related. Like you be talking about somebody's cousin, you don't even know it. You know? And I just feel like that's a blind spot for me. And it's a spot where like I feel unsafe. And like that also is a trauma response from my childhood. Like if I feel unsafe, and it don't really take a whole lot for me to feel unsafe. And if I feel unsafe, I just can't be there. And I just don't I can't be around people who won't warn me of danger. And I feel like I wasn't warned that somebody had a knife. And when I said it, I feel like people knew, and they didn't tell me. And it was like, so would you have rather just me be blindsided by this? Like I don't understand that. And so I just can't get with it. I can't get with it. It's like the people that I have around me, like I have to trust them because like my own father, I can't even trust my own father. You know what I mean? So it's like y'all got to think about like the different walks of life that people come from, and like how that impacts their belief system, how they move, how they interact with people, the friendships they have and stuff like that. Like all of that stuff impacts me. So like people say like you're supposed to just grow up, you grow out of your trauma, but you really don't. That trauma shows up in your friendships. It shows up in line dance class. It shows up at work. It shows up you know, in your romantic relationships. It shows up with your kids. It shows up, you know? And so like I'm just like to the point where I have let so much out and unburdened myself with so much of what has happened in my childhood that I'm aware that there are so many things that happen in my childhood that affect me today. And because of that, I can't, y'all. Like I can't. I have to trust you. I have to trust you. And it's just like I just don't. So yeah. I agree with you, Sean. You said walking away is victory. You prevented them from making you do something you regret. The fact that you regret the outcome shows your true character. You are amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. I appreciate that. I'm not going to hold y'all much longer unless y'all have, any questions or comments or concerns. Like I told y'all, one of the things that some of the ladies said when we had the first incident when we were out of town, they said, well, we family, we don't need to do this, in front of people and stuff like that. And I'm just like, y'all, I don't believe in that. I don't, because I came from a family that I couldn't trust, you know, and I just know what it's like to like sometimes you got to make your own family. And that's just my walk in life right now. It's like I have to make my own family. And if people present themselves to not be, they're not friendly, like I can't ever call somebody my family if they can really look at me and want to harm me. Like, do y'all understand that? That's crazy. That's crazy to me. I can't do it. So, I gracefully bow out. I bow out acknowledging that, you know, I take a major role in this, and that, it just didn't have to get here. But because we are here, you know, I just have to I just have to bow out, you know. Being blood isn't being family. Being family is a choice, and nothing hurts more than choosing to be family and getting betrayed. Ooh, that's a word right there, child. That's a word. That is a word. Yep. But anyways, I thank y'all for listening to me, and y'all know I will be back, talking about discernment, talking about, all the things. I'm still working on my book and all that stuff. I think I've gotten a little distracted, like sometimes when stuff like affects me emotionally, it's like I really like can't even hardly function, like sometimes I just and I just can't, sometimes it affects the fibromyalgia, and sometimes I start getting sick. I did get sick, but like I wanted to, like, I was taking out some aggression. So I started doing yard work. But I was doing yard work when it was that weekend when it was like super cold outside. And then I went to dance. You guys know I went and danced for Jay Marshall. Y'all look him up. He's a really good artist. So I danced for background for Jay Marshall, and it was really cold out there, y'all. So I ended up like catching a cold, I guess. So I'm just I'm just still like getting my voice back. Um, but yeah, like when stuff affects me emotionally, y'all, it like I get sick. Like I'll get sick from it. So I have to really watch, you know, watch my environment, watch my emotions. Like when I see stuff get me down, like I'm really in tune with people's emotions. So I have to pray, that it doesn't start weighing me down. I was like one of those type of people that like I would feel people's energy, like, and it would just weigh on me. So I have to pray about that all the time, that I can feel people, but that I don't carry their burdens or carry their emotions. So it's just, it's something that I'm working on. But I love y'all, and I thank y'all for listening. And I pray that y'all got something from this. Like, let your kids see this, let your daughter see this. And we could totally de-escalate these situations, even if you have to walk away. Okay. Now y'all know I love that class. Like, y'all know I do. But like, this is my consequence. I gotta walk away from it. So, if there's a situation like that, and y'all gotta walk away from something that you love to keep the peace, then do that, you know, do that. Okay. I love y'all, and bye bye for now. Y'all, you are important to me.